Hello, I hope everyone is having a good day. Thank you so much for joining our panel. Just a reminder, you are currently in the A4 session, so that's the peer specialist panel, and they will be discussing staying in housing and in recovery. If you're in the wrong one, I'm sorry, but you do have the option to go back to the housing page and click on whatever session you were looking for. All sessions are available on that page. Just so that everybody knows, our session will be recorded and available at a later time after the conference. Today, we have the honor of listening to 4 of our panelists. So we have Brian Hanchett, Anthony Ernst, Pete Ortiz, and Botelho will be talking with us today. Our chat room is closed just so that it helps us focus on our panelists. However, we have our Q&A open. It's available on the bottom right. If you have any questions for our panelists, feel free to type it in there. There will be a Q&A at the last 10 or so minutes of our session, and I will help read out some questions that were provided to our panelists, and they'll answer it at the end of their session. If you have any other questions for me specifically about the system, or if you need any assistance, feel free to use the Q&A at the bottom, and I will do my best to keep up and assist you. Okay, I hope everybody enjoys this panel, and we're going to go ahead and start. We first have Brian. So I am going to unmute Brian, and he will be kicking off this for us. Go ahead, Brian.
Right.
Thank you.
Good morning, all. My name is Brian Hanchett, and I'm a peer specialist with Department of Veterans Affairs, where I've been a peer specialist for the last 5 years. And I feel that I have the greatest job in the world because I'm able to give back and be a servant to my fellow veterans. I am a veteran of 20 years with the Navy. I retired in 2010. And as a peer specialist, I like to think of myself as a buffer for the veteran between the case manager and the veteran, and also the veteran with society with some of the issues that they may have, whether it's with housing, having issues with SNAP benefits, or things like that. We help out with. I've been like I say, fortunate to have this job. I really, really, truly love it. I work with a team of 5 social workers, and each social worker may carry a case of about 25 to 30. So sometimes we have a caseload of about 125 to 130 between the 5 social workers and myself. And I work hand in hand with the social worker. Like I say, we're veterans, and most of the social workers are not veterans, so we can kind of relate to the veteran on that part of their military time. And we also just try to help them to stay housed, help them to become better individuals out in society, and just lead them in the right direction. So with that, I'm gonna stop because the other 3 have their parts of what they want to say, and I don't want to go too far in, and then we're all saying the same thing. Okay, so next up is Mr. Anthony, and I'll turn around for him.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? My name is Anthony Ernst. I'm a peer specialist with the HUDVASH project base here at Cloudbreak, Kalaeloa. I'll just leave you a little background about myself. I served in the military from 1997 to 2009 as a combat infantryman, airborne. I deployed several times to Iraq, Belize, Panama. After 2009, I transitioned to the Hawaii National Guard, where I was a squad leader in a PSD team with the Hawaii National Guard. We did missions to Guam, do SURF-P. I think you guys know about contamination, stuff like that. But that's some of the missions that we did with the Hawaii National Guard. Then I retired in 2015. I got out, I got my bachelor's degree, and then I transitioned and got my master's degree in business management. So I, as far as really, as far as a veteran, I suffered some PTSD on my personal experience with me while I was deployed several times. So that I relate to veterans at my position here at the VA. I currently serve over 80 veterans at Cloudbreak communities. I provide them with goals for recovery. So that's like very important that we provide them goals for recovery. We teach them new skills. I support them in their treatment. Like give them self-help strategies when they need help. I also deal with people who have addictions and mental health disorders and or abuse. So people are getting domestic violence happens, abuse happens. So I try to provide them resources. I'm really good about helping them find resources like when they need food pantry, food bank, anything they need. Like we're there, I'm on site here at Cloudbreak, and we can provide those services to them. I transport them occasionally to the food pantry to get food. And our job, we do save lives because from my experience, like if we didn't have peer support, some of these veterans wouldn't have made it. They would have died already because they don't have access to care, they don't have our resources, they don't have transportation. So we're like the medium for them, like between the social worker, case manager, and us. We provide them with life experiences that the case manager might not have. So those life experiences that we do have, we can share with them. Say, I was a veteran too. I the same kind of stuff you have, and we help them on a personal level and overcome their problems or issues. And like I said before, like we provide all these resources as far as transportation, helping YMCA food pantry and other various, we take them to their doctor appointments if they need it. And we're there for the veterans, and I from my experience, we have done a lot. We saved over I can't even count how many lives we saved. We saved a lot of lives doing our job, just being there, helping them with their substance abuse, linking them up with the resources, calling ambulance if they need an ambulance, just being there with their needs. And if it wasn't for the peers, I think it would have ended up a different situation for our veterans. So I'm just glad I'm here to help the veterans. I'm glad that we're able to support them and help them set up goals and strategies on how to become a successful member and be back in society as far as giving them what they need. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's really short. I just wanted to be detailed as far as like what we do as far as peer support and the veterans that we do serve. It's important that we're there for them and continue the mission as helping them in their recovery from all those their issues that they may be having. So I'll pass it on to Pete Ortiz. If you'd like to speak now, Pete. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian and Effie. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to, he got himself unmuted. All right, thank you, Pete.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pete Ortiz. Like Anthony said, we do a lot of things, but my part right now is I'm also a peer specialist, but I work with the employment services. So I'm the person that a lot of the homeless veterans would go to in order to get employment or other things like transportation. Like Anthony, I'm also a veteran, but my path was a bit different. I found myself, I lost my job back in 2012. I was doing couch surfing for a bit until I was finally homeless, didn't have a place to stay, and I ended up going to the US Vets. And at US Vets, I was helped along through the process. So they helped me out with trying to get my life back together. And I've been working at the VA since about 2015. So from 2012 to 2015, I was at US Vets for some time. So that's all I have right now. I'll pass it on to Bo.
All right, Bo. I am going to unmute you right now.
Okay. Thanks, Pete. Is my camera on? I don't know.
You're good, Bo. We can see you. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, now we can't.
Now you can't. Okay. Yeah, my name is
Very
Bo, and I'm not going to get into my my personal history because I did submit a bio. If you're interested, you can look at that. And I thank my brothers here for explaining what peer specialists do today. Yeah, what I'd like to do is to present the history of the peer specialist in the homeless program here at the VA. Pete represents the healthcare for homeless veterans. Anthony, Brian, and I are with the HUD-VASH program. So this started for me in the early summer of 2013. I was veteran supported employment program. It was an experimental program that the VA started in 2010. 2014. Later that summer, Andy Dahlberg, our program manager, David Webb, who were Voc Rehab HVSAP program, that he wanted us to leave and become peer specialists for the HUD-VASH program, specifically called Enhanced Housing First. And that team consisted of 3 licensed clinical social workers, 1 who was a coordinator, and 2 peer support specialists, which was David Webb and my housing specialist. Anyway, so we said, yeah. Unfortunately, later that summer, we all had the good fortune to for a presentation by Dr. Sam Sembara to housing. He came out here from New York, and he explained to everybody present. I mean, all service, all the providers, mental health providers, and homeless providers at the time, and it was a packed, to say. And we listened to Dr. Sam explain what Housing First is, and what exactly an ACT team is regarding that model. The ACT team meaning assertive community treatment program. Quite simply, you get a homeless person, you house them, and you wrap services around them. So Andy Dahlberg saw, when he first heard about this, I guess, saw this as an opportunity for the VA to get a jump on things. And so he created the Enhanced Housing First project. And I thought, wow, as a former homeless veteran, I'm thinking, damn, this is a pretty cool idea. I can get behind that. And how easy can it be? Sure, this is like duck soup. I can do this, work with my peers that are homeless, and we're going to house them. And I thought, wow, okay, what a great idea. So we began. But prior to that beginning, I have to honestly say this, okay? I thought, well, actually what I did was I put myself back in that homeless veteran situation, and I thought, okay, so what if the VA, some outreach guy from the VA came up to me and says, hey, Bo, we want to put you in an apartment. Oh, yeah, I ain't got no money. And besides, what's the catch? Oh, no catch. No catch. But I ain't got no money. No problem. We're going to help you. We're going to, what we're going to do is we're going to help you get some kind of income, whether it's general assistance or Social Security or veteran benefits, whatever. I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty cool. So how does it work? Well, the HUD program will supply a Section 8 voucher, and whatever you get, whatever income you get, when you do get income, you'll kick in 30% of as a rent share. Well, that's pretty cool. But here's one thing that I'm kind of, I don't know if this is going to work for me, because you know, I kind of like to do drugs and maybe drink a little bit. Oh, no problem. No problem. I'm thinking, what? No problem. Are you serious? Oh, sure, we're serious because you know what? We can help you. We can help you quit that if you want. And if you have any other mental health issues, we can help you resolve those issues by wrapping services at the VA all around you. So whatever you need, we can provide. So being the addict that I was, or, you know, with my addict thinking, I'm going to tell this outreach person, wow, sure, sign me up. You know what? If you house me, I'm going to quit doing all the bad things and I'm going to be a real good kid. Just, you know, just house me. And when I do get housed, what do you suppose I'm going to do? Well, being the addict that I was, I'm going to invite all my addict family from the Kalaeloa Beach Park area where I happened to be homeless for about 3 years, living on the hillside between Lanikai and the beach park. And I'm going to invite all my chronic friends, my addict friends over to my apartment so that we don't have to worry about the police, interfering, or hauling us out to jail or whatever. Everything will be great. We can do whatever. So this is my thinking. Then we started in the program. And lo and behold, started to encounter veterans that were doing that exact same thing, you know? So I had no problem with that because I thought, you know what? These veterans that I'm helping to get housed and remain housed are acting just the way I would have if I would have been offered this housing deal. So it wasn't going to be such an easy job. It was going to be hard. But to make a long story short, after so many years of our veterans being evicted and getting rehoused, a few years ago we were added to our team was a couple of substance abuse disorder counselors. They're social workers who also have CSACs. What is that? Substance abuse counselors certificates, and so we're able to. One of the hardest parts of our job is to deal with those veterans that do have serious mental health issues, because that's what the HUDVASH program was created for. That's what the enhanced housing first program was established to deal with those really, really serious chronic mentally challenged and substance abuse challenged or dual challenged, to work with them. But today it's all the HUDVASH social workers, and we have more peer specialists, of course, in HUDVASH. And our team today is so awesome. We have a nurse practitioner who can who deal with mental health issues and prescribing mental health or mental what you call psych meds, nurses. We have occupational therapists, we have housing specialists, we have an employment specialist, the peer specialist. It's not quite the exact ACT team that Dr. Sam described when he presented the housing first concept or model, but it's a pretty darn good treatment team, and it's what I thought was going to be easy in the beginning turned out to be not so easy. It's really a challenge to keep some of our guys housed. And am I taking too much time?
You're fine, Bo. Go ahead. Thank you.
Hello? Okay, so yeah, so it's over the years now, it's been challenging because it's it's that's part of the requirement, okay, to even get into the HUDVASH program is to, first of all, you have to be homeless, and secondly, you have to have some kind of a mental health issue where you need case management. And we have fantastic social workers in this program. They are just so awesome. They dedicate so much to keeping our veterans housed, and that's what it's all about. We keep them housed I'm kind of like I may not have the mental health issues that some of my comrades, my peers, my veteran comrades have, but I do have a substance abuse issue that it wasn't until my second round in recovery that I learned pretty much that substance abuse is a mental health issue. No, I didn't know that. I thought it was just, I thought I was just a recreational drug user. So what's a big deal? But actually, no. Uh, so yeah, that we find a lot of our veterans today and that are using drugs, have used drugs. Not really a lot of them are clean and sober today, but we're working on it. It's the peer specialists. We are working with them, and our substance abuse disorder coordinators. They're working with them, and their case managers. Everybody's working together to keep all of our veterans housed. And you think it would be as easy as, well, you give a veteran a Section 8 voucher, get them housed off the streets, and that's it. But no, it's not quite as simple as that. Takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of prayer, takes a lot of energy, and that's. I'm gonna close right there. And thank you so much, everybody, for hearing me out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bo. Do any of our panelists have anything to say before we get to some Q&A? Okay. All right. So we're going to accept questions. Again, if anybody has any questions, it's on the right side of your screen. You can go ahead and ask some questions there, and I'll read it out to our panelists. So while our panelists were presenting, we did have a question. So we have an inquiry from a veteran. It seems that they receive disability from the VA. They have signed up with healthcare for the VA. They've had experiences going through many routes and many systems. Their goal is to be able to have a home of their own in Hawaii. Unfortunately, it just seems like they make too much money to enter some programs and other resources that just didn't pan out, including things like the SVFF program, transitional housing. So does any of our panelists have any guidance for those who maybe make too much to qualify for some services, but their end goal is to have a home here in Hawaii of their own without having, without experiencing more roadblocks down the line? I will go. Oh, there you go.
Okay,
Go ahead and
so it sounds like the veteran is, let's say, OB income, and they want to stay here in Hawaii to rent or buy their own place, correct? So what I would tell that veteran is that, and I don't want to sound cold, but I tell a lot of veterans this, that you have to live where you can afford to live. If I can't live here in Hawaii, I got to find somewhere where I can afford to live. And and that's when I say it like that, that's when we relationships with the veterans that we work with, and we come to that where we able to tell them like that. And that's what I would say, because if I couldn't afford it here, I would definitely leave Hawaii and try to find somewhere where I can live comfortable and don't have to, stress over making ends meet. So that's what I would say. But because they couldn't get in HUD-VASH probably because they're OBN. Yes.
Thank you, Brian. Does anybody have any advice if this is home for them? What would the first step be, maybe, for them to reach their goal of getting their home here? If they've encountered roadblock after roadblock, any advice on what just the first next step would be for them?
Can I just say something? So a lot of people, what they don't understand is the homeless program that we have is it's more for the homeless veterans that don't have anything. So a lot of people that do have, say, the 100%, like he was talking about, if he is at 100% and he is overqualified or has over income, the thing about it is I had to fix my credit to get it up to a good, to a high enough rate, so, or a high enough score to get my own housing. So I was able to buy a small apartment, but it took me years to do that. So it's not going to be like he's going to have to be able to get it right away. Has this individual looked at trying to buy a house or a small condo or something? Can he afford that? And has he gone that route?
I would like to, if I may, add to what Pete just said, because a long time ago, I've gone full circle. Because of my addiction, I lost my house in Kalaeloa, and today I live 4 floors below Pete in a beautiful apartment building in Waipahu because we went to the VA and achieved, or what do you call, received the VA loan to purchase. So if this veteran can afford it, and he needs to, all he needs to do is to call one of the agencies that do VA loans. I could recommend someone if they wanted to contact me and find out if they can afford, because it is possible. Believe me, we don't make a ton of money as peer specialists, but obviously 2 of us, or 4, actually 4 of us can afford to purchase homes. So as veterans, yeah. So that's a possibility.
Okay, so as healthcare providers in Hawaii, what is the best way to connect or refer members who are veterans to peer support and wraparound service programs for housing as well as mental health services?
So to the health provider, the thing is we only service HUD-VASH veterans, but if they get assessed by our social workers or our outreach people, and they come into our program, then they would receive those services as peer specialists and all the information they need to seek housing. And the good thing is I know that other, the city or the state are trying to get peer specialists or hire on in those aspects as well. But all they have to do is get assessed, and then once they get assessed, they will they will have a social worker that will reach out to them, and with that social worker along will come a peer specialist.
For all of our attendees, just so you know, I did provide my my email address in the answer section. So if we do want to have more detailed follow-up information from our panelists, I can go ahead and I can connect you directly. So please give that a look when you have a moment. Let me see, we do have another question for our panelists. One of our attendees wants to know, is there a time limit that veterans can remain in HUD-VASH housing?
So when a veteran come in, they're here because they're going to get a Section 8 voucher. So long as they do what they need to do in HUD-VASH, meet the social worker as the social worker CD, they can stay, they'll be in the program as long as needed. Now, in some cases, we do have veterans that progress to where they graduate from out of the program, where they don't need the social worker to be seen by the social worker anymore. So what that would do, when they graduate, they keep their voucher, but they don't need case management anymore. Yeah. So I've been here, we've had cases like that where some have graduated out the program.
So basically they have a housing service plan. So every year it gets reassessed. They determine whether or not to keep them in the program. Some veterans might need a higher level of care. Some will graduate from the program. And it depends on if they're paying their rent and maintaining their housing service plan, they'll stay in. So it's really determining on the vet, if anything, whether they're going to stay in the program or not. If they're doing what they're supposed to do, then they'll be good to go. If not, sometimes you get evicted and then they come back into the program again and get reassessed. So it depends on the veteran really, on how they perform their service plan and maintain their housing by paying their rent, not using and just, establishing their goals and maintaining it. Yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you so much. Okay, and again, if you want to follow up further, feel free to send me an email and I can go ahead and connect with our panelists. We have another question. Not sure if this is the type of info you might have on hand, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it. And if anything, we can go ahead and follow up afterwards. So an attendee is wondering, in your housing first efforts here in Hawaii, what is your approximate success rate in keeping veterans in their homes once you've placed them?
Unfortunately, I don't have that statistic. I don't know if somebody else does on the panel, but I don't know. Honestly, it's dependent on the veteran, like I said before.
To the attendee that asked that question, feel free also to email me. We do hold some data in terms of house vets, and we are happy to provide what we have to you. So feel free to email me. Okay. Are there any more questions for our panelists? I will give everybody several seconds just to see if there's any more questions. Okay, it looks like it's gone quiet for now. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to enter my email one more time into the chat. All of our attendees can feel free to save that. If you would like to connect with our panelists, I'm happy to help you with that and have some of your other questions answered after the conference. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you to our panelists for taking time out of their day to come and share your experience, share your story, and share some knowledge with us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. There's the links to the other panels for tomorrow is on the same website as the one that you visited today. If anybody has any questions, feel free to email me regarding that as well. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, and please have a good day.